Tina from Shabbydabbydoodah. Welcome back to my channel. So we're here for another one of our episodes of revisiting favourite projects from 2025. And what we are going to do today, we're revisiting the Don't Throw Away Those Cards. So making gorgeous junk journal tags from like playing card masterboards. But I thought let's put a different twist on it so it wasn't kind of watching exactly the same thing really that we did before. So what I've done, I made quickly just now a masterboard using cigarette cards. Now these, weirdly enough, these are bigger than normal cigarette cards. I don't know quite why, but yeah, they're bigger anyway. So again, I tried to be really random with this. I've not kind of done, coordinated kind of masterboard or anything. It's very random, so it's using just bits and pieces that were laying around, and these are all thick pieces of paper, so they're all kind of like 230 GSM paper, and then of course we've got the cigarette cards stuck on top. Now the cigarette cards, they're proving a little bit resistant to wanting to stick down because they're quite thick. So, you know, it's not a problem because obviously I'm going to be cutting these out and then stitching around where the actual cigarette cards are anyway. So that's going to all be fine. Sorry, I'm just reaching behind me to get my templates. So what we did last time was we just put our templates down and we were really random with how we cut the masterboard. I want to try and do that again. I want to try not to get too, you know, bogged down with, oh, you know, that's not going to look aesthetically pleasing or anything. I just want to kind of like go for it. So, yeah, I've got my template here and we're just going to do that. So, going to start here in this corner. Now, some might be directional tags like this, and some I might kind of like turn around, you know, and do like a different direction, but we'll just kind of get started like this. Now obviously I've only just made this masterboard, so it's still a little bit soggy, so you have to kind of bear that in mind. So yeah, it's kind of like a bit almost like, yeah, flopping about a bit, but that's fine, it will be fine. Right, now this is where I must not get too bogged down with the whole, oh, let's, you know, really kind of start looking at what's going to look really good. So what I might do is like go in randomly and cut down randomly rather than moving myself along, which then I feel is quite restrictive because, you know, I'm kind of starting, you know, in ends that of course I'm going to get something good, and then I'm suddenly going to get loads of things that are not good at all. So I might actually go in and sort of just do really random stuff. So like this here, I already think I love that as a tag. So I'm going to cut out the bits that I think, oh, I really, really love it. And then I'm going to work from there. So, and if that means I need to cut down smaller tags, you know, because that's all I've got left, then, you know, that's fine too. So, oh my gosh. This wasn't such a good idea, was it? Because it's very hard now to get to the, you know, get the right angle. But right, I'm going to go in like that. And then what I'll do, now if I've cut these and I've ended up cutting into, you know, what's effectively going to be the next tag, again, I'm not going to get too worried about that because I can always, you know, when we glue these onto like some sort of backing paper, I probably take them to the sewing machine anyway. So I can always stitch around if I've ended up, you know, cutting into a tag that's then going to be, what do you call it? You know, have like a cut bit out of it. I'm not going to get too worried because I can just stitch down that. Right, so this one I've now mucked up because it was hard to get to. So I'm just going to cut this down a bit to get it a bit shaped better. Okay. Well, it's not brilliant, but it's better. Okay, that's that one. Right, let's get rid of these little bits and pieces. So I might have to make myself another template in a minute, a smaller one, because I might be only left with quite small pieces by the time that I've gone in randomly, you know, getting the tags that I specifically really would like. So like this one, now obviously if I want to have kind of like bits of cards on all the tags, I might need to do this one this way round. So let's put that like that. And go in here. Oops, Going down there. I mean, like I say, where those cards are sort of wanting to lift, I will go in and sort that out, you know, with the sewing machine. So, you know, they're wanting to lift, but we're going to stitch them down so that they're not able to lift. I mean, to be honest, what I should have done was actually made the masterboard a bit further in advance, and then I could have just left like some books or something like put on it, squashing it all down, and then it would have been fine. But obviously I'm not that organised, so yeah, as usual, I left it all to the last minute, and now I'm like, oh, they're peeling off. But that's fine, because yeah, I probably would have stitched around them anyway. I did stitch around them with the playing cards, so you know, if we're doing it in you know, following on from there, then that was how I did that one. Right, okay, so I've got like slightly strange now assortment left. So right, so this one I'm going to take down here like this. Okay, so we're going to have like a bit of a stumpy tag, but that's fine. Okay, put that one down and just take it down there like that. Okie dokie. Just cut it down at the edge, or the end, sorry, not the edge, at the end like that. It's not looking good. I'm so sorry if you can hear noise. My daughter's got her friend over for a sleepover. They're now obviously making loads of noise. Right, okay. I don't want to be mean, like saying be quiet, you know. But I will do, obviously, if they get really noisy. Right, so this one, now, let's just see. So I might have this as a tag here. Yeah, that's quite good. So, right, I'll just take that one down there. Now, do we want it that way up or that way up? No, we're going to have it that way up, otherwise the cigarette card is like upside down. So, like that. Okay. Yep, I mean, that's quite cute, isn't it? I'll just take it in a bit, because I probably prefer it slightly narrower. Okay. Yep. Oh, gosh. That's the problem, because when you take it in, obviously it affects then the, you know, where I've snipped the corners out, so then they look weird. Right. Really don't know what to do on this one, if I'm honest. Yeah, now do I do like 2 skinny tags like that? That could work. Do I do like a little stumpy tag? That could work. Do I do on that way? That could work. I mean, to be honest, they all look like they'd be potentially kind of okay. Do you know, I'm going to do just a little stumpy one here. So yeah, which is weird. I don't normally do the stumpy tags, but now I've ended up doing loads of them on this. I think it's just like the random weird way that I've cut the masterboard. I've ended up with a lot of, you know, what effectively I could only really get stumpy tags from it. So, oh my gosh, I mean, look at that. That's horrible. Don't like that at all. Let's make that a bit better. It's not good at all. Is that better? I think that's better. Yeah, right. So these are kind of a couple of scraps, which of course they just, you know, bin those. Must not hold on to scraps. No, definitely no. Yeah, what do you think to this masterboard with the cigarette cards? I thought it was just a bit different from doing the playing cards. Let me know what you think. Again, like I say, I really have tried not to be too, you know, like trying to coordinate it. So if it looks like a bit of an eyesore, that was that was deliberate. But yeah, now I'm like, is it all right? Right, so this one, I could either do like that for a biggish tag. I could do that. That's really weird because they're not opposite each other. I could do this. spin it round and kind of have it like that. Perhaps what I should do is do this one first. Yeah, I think I might do that one first. I'm sorry if you can hear them again. Right, so let's take that there, like that. And then we'll kind of like see what we're left with, I think. So, yeah, let's take that down there. Oops. Like that, and oh my gosh. I think I've like cut my template, so I don't think that's really helping because my template's now wonky. So yeah, starting from a wonky template, so no wonder my bits are all looking really weird once they're cut. I mean, that looks like a pretty horrible tag, to be honest. I don't like that at all. But weirdly, this one might turn out to be my favourite by the time that we decorate it, you know, because sometimes that's how it goes. You know, the ones I'm like most excited to do, when I come to do them, I actually end up sort of ruining them almost because I'm so nervous. I'm like, oh, I don't want to ruin it. And that's precisely what I end up doing, is ruining it. Right, what do we do here? So we could have a little stumpy one here. We could then have a tallish one there, actually. That would be okay. Yeah, let's do that. And then we'll do something there. I'm not sure yet what we're going to do there. Right, let's take this one. Okay. Put that there. Okay, I will have to tidy the bottom of this tag up because it's a bit weird. Like slanty. Oh my gosh, look at the size of that again. So I'm going to cut it on this edge because I don't want that cigarette card looking like it's in the middle too much. Now I'm going to have to do it like that because otherwise that's very slanted on there. Wow, look at my corners now. They are looking terrible. Oh my gosh, I literally feel like I'm ruining this every time I cut into it. Oh, that's okay actually now. Yeah, that's okay. Right, okay, so we are not left with that much, are we now? So let's have a look and see. Right. So we need to decide. We can have like a big one here. We could have that one. Did I originally say that? Did I say that one at first? If we had that one. Right, so this one we can do this. So we're going to get a nice big tag here. So that's quite good actually. Yeah, that's much better than I'd expected. So yeah, big tag here. That's quite cool. Okay, 1, 2. Okay. That one. Right. Have I matched that one up? Probably. It's really hard to, you know, cut them kind of like properly. Right. Okay, so got that one. Yep, that's quite nice. Now, right, this is all we're left of the masterboard. So let's just hope for the best here. Right. So I'm thinking I really like these bits together. So maybe like that, and then maybe just a slithery, you know, slim tag there. So I'm going to do this like this, and I'm going to go down here. So I'm just going to cut it straight down first. Okay, and then I'm going to just tidy it up here at the bottom. So hopefully kind of like, oh my gosh. I'm not doing very well there. Oh my goodness. You know, like every time you look at it, it's like, oh, I've made it worse. Oh, I've made it even worse. Oh, no, I've made it even worse. Doing that. Right, okay. And then this bit here, we're going to put around here. Right. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to bring this down so that I can get 2 reasonable sort of corners there. So one here, like that. Okay. And then one this side. Like that. Okay, whoops, not very straight again. Right, okay. We are cooking on gas now, like, look at this. I don't know why I said that. That's made me cringe because I've never said that before. Don't know where that came from, but yeah, it just popped out. And it was like, oh my goodness, what have I said that for? A weird expression for me to come out with. Right. Let's cut that down. Now look, can you see what's happened here? So that would be the ideal spot to have it like that. Obviously this would then be upside down. Oh, do you know, I'm just going to go for it upside down. Because, I mean, you know, when we glue stuff on it, you might not even really see the direction of it anyway. So let's not get hung up with whether it's upside down or not. So go across there. Right, okay, let's just see about this corner. Oops. Just see if that's like a... That's not bad. Right, I don't know how this is going to work. Oh, that might be that corner. How weird. I think that is that corner, you know. That just happened to be like laying over there. I thought, oh, I'll pick that up. Oh, no, it's not that corner, look. Well, or I didn't cut it very accurately. Oh dear, one or the other. Right, okay. Not great. Cut it down a bit more. Right, that's better, isn't it? Okay, right. Took me a while to cut those, but yeah. Now, I have to say, at this point, I'm not loving these. I'm thinking, oh, I should have stuck with the playing cards. This was a bit too ambitious. I am not enjoying how they all look. They're, yeah, not all that nice. But who knows? They maybe will improve. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to back them onto some paper / card. They are thick already, but, you know, I mean, ideally I would like them, you know, not lumpy on the back and also not with any pattern on the back. So I'm going to back them onto something, maybe even just some envelope or whatever, if I've got some old envelope. Yeah, or maybe even some Amazon packaging if I've got some. I'll see what I've got laying around. So all I'm going to literally do, glue them down, and then I'm going to stitch them on the sewing machine. And what I will do, I will stitch around the actual cigarette card individually and then around the edge of the tag itself. So like here where it's wanting to lift in the corner, that's just going to secure it. I mean, some are worse than others, but yeah, that's going to kind of like make sure that they're stuck down properly. So I'm going to do that and then I will come back. Okay, I'm back. So I have to say it is now the next day, but you know, that's fine. So what we've got now are all of our little tags, and as you can see, I stitched around the actual cigarette cards, so they're all kind of like really fixed on there really nicely now. And what I did, I just backed them all onto Amazon packaging. So, you know, you've got the bit of the stitching where the cigarette cards have been stitched on, but I mean, personally, I don't mind that. I don't think it's kind of like too much in the way. If you were journaling on the back of them, I think, you know, you'd be able to write around it or, you know, write over the stitching. And obviously some have more stitching than others, you know. That one actually had 2 areas of stitching, but I mean, for example, like this one, you know, it's only got kind of that one bit there. So, you know, it's not kind of like too terrible or anything like that. But yeah, I don't mind them. I'm kind of like preferring them now they're stitched to how I felt yesterday about them. And I think they're going to make nice tags. So, yep, hopefully we're going to transform them and they're going to look really good. So, you know, I'm not loving them. I can't be, you know, what's the word? Can't lie. That's just how I can't lie. I'm not really loving them, but I think they will make nice tags, you know. I think we'll be able to turn them around and transform them into something lovely. So I'm just quickly trimming up the threads off the back, and then we'll get decorating some of these. So, oh, my daughter's had her sleepover, so her and her friend, they're still in her room. It's now 11 o'clock. And yeah, after kind of like doing a bunch of stuff this morning and finishing off these tags, stitching them and things like that, messing about with my printer again, you know, and all those kinds of things, it's now 11 o'clock. And yeah, they haven't surfaced from her room. They are awake because I've heard them moving about and things, but yeah, they haven't surfaced from there. And I'm not surprised because, oh my goodness, it was like 1 o'clock in the morning and I had to text my daughter, you know, like I was laying in bed and I thought, should I bother getting up and going in there? And I thought, no, I can't be bothered to get up. So I texted her and said, shut up now and go to sleep. So it all kind of quietened down. Whether or not they went to sleep and woke back up, I'm not sure. But I was woken again at 4 o'clock in the morning with them again making loads of noise. So like I say, I don't know whether they'd actually just quietened down or whether I'd just fallen back to sleep and wasn't disturbed by them. Or whether they'd, you know, gone to sleep and then woke back up. I'm not sure. But yeah, 4 o'clock this morning. So I wasn't very impressed then. So again, I laid there thinking, shall I go in there? Or shall I just phone her? And I just thought, I'm just going to phone her. You know, like, I don't want to embarrass her really by going in there, you know, to her friend and saying to them both, shut up, you know. But equally, I was like, come on, don't be selfish. Right, okay, let's put a couple of these out. So let's do a couple of kind of like that are going to be different looking. So, I mean, they're all quite different looking, or we could have that one. Well, let's put 4 of them out, shall we? We'll see what we can do with these 4. Okay, so I've got a whole bunch of like fussy cuts and things beside me that we can obviously use with these. Haven't ordered any new blendy tools yet, so I've got this one, which obviously it is purple on there, but hey, that's fine. Once I get using it, it'll be brown. So yeah, at least I've got a different sponge now. Oh, maybe the ink pads ran out. Maybe that's why I was struggling yesterday, you know, when I thought it was my ink pad, which, don't get me wrong, obviously I did need, you know, a different one. But yeah, maybe it was actually, oh, that might have been my old ink pad. I thought, well, that's really strange why it was so bad and not working, you know, just because the sponge was kind of like, oh, look, now it's really inky. I've gone from one extreme to the other. I always do that, you know, forget that I'm using a different one. And I've got used to it being so dry that when I then switch over, it's like, oh my God, look at how bright that is now. Not bright, but dark. Look at how coffee dyed that is. Right, okay. Well, I do like it, mind you, with the, you know, the pretty dark edge. I think it looks quite nice. Oh, so I carried on watching my series last night, Younger. It turns out I was actually on season 6, not season 7. So I think I said in one of these videos that I thought I might finish it, you know, that night. But yeah, turns out I was not as far ahead as I thought. Which I'm really pleased, because I'm enjoying it so much. And it's so nice to just have something that I'm enjoying and not have to be like, oh, what should I watch tonight? And just flicking through. That really is irritating. So, yeah, I'm going to be really gutted when it finishes. I'm halfway through season 6. There is a season 7. I don't know how long that is. You know, like sometimes they do those final seasons, like shorter. Who knows? Maybe it's not the final season. Maybe they're, you know, filming another season. But yeah, so they sometimes kind of have less episodes, don't they? So, yeah, gutted that it's coming to an end, because I'm really, really, really enjoying it. It's really good. Definitely one of my, you know, best things that I've watched for ages. Well, that's quite nice on there. So that's from my symphony orchestra kit, so I might have that on there. I've got this one. That's from my patisserie collection papers now. I mean, I have to be a bit careful, because obviously these cigarette cards, they're very, very busy. So, you know, the items can, or, you know, the topper type bits can very easily get completely lost in the, you know, the busyness of what's on there. So I just need to kind of like be a bit careful. I have to say, I do quite like that on there. Could have a typewriter. Well, I quite like it on there. I don't know quite whether we might put something else on, but we'll see. That's way too big, which is unfortunate because it does look cute. Oh, I've got some more instruments there. Oh, perhaps we could have that. I feel like it needs to be quite high up so as I'm still showing the cigarette card, which obviously then that's a bit weird having it so high up. Be better off with something smaller where you can then see the cigarette card kind of more, you know, clearly. Maybe we'll do something like that instead. Okay, right, so this was, I think, from the Peacock Palace in the pink. This from the Peacock Palace, the blue one. That's the Symphony Orchestra, and then this is from the Build a Butterfly cluster. Okay. Ready. Just ink all these up. So as they sort of go then with the inked edges of the tags themselves. Right, quite liking that. Now, don't know. I mean, obviously I do always like having lace, so we will definitely have lace on these, but do we want... Yeah, that's quite pretty, isn't it? I mean, funnily enough, that's the one that I'm not 100% sure on, so actually I don't think I'm going to start with that one, because that's a mistake, isn't it, to start with the one that you're not quite sure. Whereas this one, I did really like it. As soon as I put it down on there, I thought, oh yeah, that looks good. Right. Yeah, I do really like that. Should we have a label or anything like that in the background? I mean, I did deliberately make these from completely really random stuff, you know, so that they were really busy and not matching, if you know what I mean. I'm now kind of struggling and thinking, oh gosh, why did I do that? Because they look really busy and sort of quite hard to work with, but you know, that was what I wanted to do, so mission accomplished, you know. Right, let's just quickly try this. Because again, I'm wanting the harp here to like really show up and not just be blending into the background so much. I'm not saying it is, but you know, potentially it's blending in perhaps more than I would really like. So yeah, let's have that there, I think. Okay. Now I'm hoping that things are going to glue down nicely over the top of the cigarette cards. They're slightly glossy, they're not too bad. Yeah, hopefully things are going to glue on there okay. So if I just put that one down like that. Okie dokie. Okay. This one. Okay, so this I'm just going to hot glue down because it's gluing over the lace and stuff as well, so just glue that down. I do love these musical instruments, I must say. They're really fun. You know, quite nice having something really different to be using. Yeah, it looks pretty, doesn't it? And then, do we want anything else? I've got like some roses. Probably not. They're a bit too ginormous, those ones. Got this. Again, pretty huge, pretty huge. Right, perhaps we'll leave that like that. Now, I'm thinking maybe some sort of blue bow or something like that at the top to tie in the blue from the label. Oh, sorry. And of course, everything but a blue bow. That's very annoying. Got bright pink. Got a pale pink. I mean, they're not really Yeah, they're not really the colours that I had in mind. I was thinking blue would be really kind of nice on there. Let me just... No, can't see any there. It's really annoying when you've got just literally, you name it, it's on the desk, except for the one thing that you quite fancy using. I mean, it's quite nice with the pink, to be fair. Let's try it with this paler pink. Oh, maybe that one. Yeah. Okay. So just pop that one down there. Up. Okay. So, I mean, this was a gamble, you know, using the cigarette cards instead of the playing cards, because obviously they're much more fussy. You know, they've got a much busier sort of appearance, haven't they? But, I mean, I think that's quite nice, to be honest. I probably, if I'm truthful, preferred the playing cards, but I don't dislike these. I think they look quite nice. Okay. Let's just see about this now. Oh, that's gorgeous, isn't it? Yeah, I really love that. Okay, so just going to glue this one down. Okie dokie. Like that. Now, again, do we want anything else on here? Let's just cut out a couple of these elements and just see. I mean, again, I'm just kind of using things that are laying around, other than these bits that I've just tipped out sort of here. The rest of it's just stuff that's laying around, really. So, you know, trying to be like disciplined and just use what's available. Don't know whether this butterfly might be like a bit too much blue. But at first I thought, more blue is what's required. But now I'm like, not sure now. Okay. Well, it looks such a lovely day out there. I mean, it's probably freezing, but it looks gorgeous. I mean, I went to the gym this morning, but obviously that was a long time ago. I don't know what the weather would be like now, you know, temperature wise. I'm sure I did look this morning, and now I can't remember for the life of me. I feel like it was maybe about 5.5. Might be completely wrong, because memory like a sieve, to be honest, but 5.5 is kind of ringing a bell. Right, so we could have like a blue butterfly there. I don't know whether we're making this a bit dull. So I'm just going to just see what it would look like with some light roses. Because would they sort of brighten it up, really? Blue can be a bit of a dull colour, can't it? You know, I mean, I do like blue, but you've got to be a bit careful with blue, because it can become quite drab quite quickly, I find. Unless we have it kind of more like this. I mean, to be honest, although I like the blue butterfly, I don't feel like it's showing up that much. Oh, let's just go for let's just put the roses on, shall we? Again, I'm going to do them with the hot glue because they're gluing down now over like multiple layers of paper. So, and they're gluing onto that cigarette card, which I said I wasn't sure, you know, about the slippery surface and how well things were going to stick there. So hopefully the hot glue is, you know, kind of better. Going to get it to stick there better. Right, let's put some sari silk in this one. So we do like the sari silk bow, I think. Now, what colour is the question? I wonder if we could have some sort of blue, actually. What do we think to that? Quite nice. Just pull this off. It's all knotted up. Oh no, it's not. There we go. Just check actually, hang on. Sorry about that. That was a call came through, and for some reason, I know I've said this lately, but yeah, my phone cuts me off now. When a call comes through, it stops the filming straight away. It didn't used to do that, but you know what it's like. They make these kind of updates, and then you know, things don't work the same, do they? So yeah, I don't know, but for some reason it cuts you off now. Right, put that through there. Oh, I'm loving this tag. Yeah, this one's really, really pretty. Come on, let's get a bit more of the... Okey-doke. Yeah, this one's gorgeous. Which is weird because I wasn't sure I liked it just now. But yeah, I really like it. Oops, really like it now. Right, so again, whenever I use like a bit of sari silk like this, I like to just put a dab of hot glue just to kind of like hold the bow together. And I'm not saying it's not going to stay done up, but just in case, you know, if there's the remotest possibility of it coming undone, I just think, oh, dab a bit of hot glue in. That will hopefully hold it together, you know, fastened. But yeah, isn't that one lovely? Gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous. Right, what did I think I was putting on here? Did we say the typewriter? Right, so the typewriter now. We could like smother this with flowers. Let me just check because I wasn't sure about that one. I might prefer the typewriter on here. Maybe the typewriter shows up a bit better on this one. Felt like it was a little bit sort of blending into here. So yeah, perhaps we'll have that now. I think this is the last of that bit of lace. I'm going to have a rummage around when I get time and just check that I haven't got any more of this. Because, you know, like it might be one of those types of things that I have got some, but it's just buried under stuff and I can't see it. I'd love that if that was the case. Right, again, I'm going to glue this with the hot glue because it's going to go slightly onto that cigarette card. And just in case there's any issues with things not really wanting to stick on them, this is, you know, instant. So, ooh, it's my best chance of getting it to stick. Like that. And then, right, is that flicked upside down now? So to see like that. Okay, put that like that. Okay, like that. Absolutely gorgeous. Oh my gosh, isn't that one gorgeous? That looks lovely, absolutely lovely. Right, now again, what do we want to do for like the tab on here? That's not quite right. I mean, weirdly, it doesn't look that bad, but I'm not saying that not that bad is the thing that we're looking to do, but yeah, it's better than I expected, let's just say. The part of the reason why I'm not necessarily wanting to put a big bow on this is because I'm really loving seeing this rose here. It looks really pretty. So from that point of view, I'm actually thinking, shall we just leave it and just have it with the, you know, with no tab? I mean, I don't mind tags. Yeah, tags with no tabs. Tags with no tabs. I actually don't mind that, to be honest. So yeah, maybe we will leave it without a tag at all. Tag. Tab. But maybe we'll put a butterfly up there. What do we think? Yeah, let's do that. So it's tabless. This one is tabless. Okay, that looks gorgeous, doesn't it? Yeah, that one's now my new favourite. So this one I'm still like, oh, not quite sure. feel like, yeah, maybe that's not the right topper. And that's too big. Just have a rummage through. Oops. Oh, that's from my autumn toppers. Oh, right. Isn't it weird? Autumn stuff is definitely like, you know, just like only really autumn stuff, isn't it? You know, as soon as there's a squirrel or anything, it's like, oh no, that's just autumn. It's weird. Let's try some of these. So I've got this from my music frames, which we could even put that on as a pocket. The only thing is that's a bit weird poking out. That one. It might be that I haven't really got anything here that's quite right, but you'd like to think that I could find something, wouldn't you? To be honest. Oh, I feel so tired, honestly, with those girls keeping me up half the night. Really annoying. So yeah, I've just blown it now. She's not going to be having any sleepovers anytime soon. I say that, I mean, just like such a soft touch, honestly, you know, like kind of, well, partly soft touch, partly just, I can't remember anything. So no doubt within like a couple of days I'll have forgotten all about this anyway. You know, like today when her friend leaves, I'm going to do the horrible sort of strict mum bit, you know, moaning at her saying, well, if you think that anyone's staying again, you're very much mistaken. That's like a mum thing to say, isn't it? You're very much mistaken. And then she will be literally probably inside just thinking, as if you're going to remember. So yeah, she knows that I will not remember. And therefore, you know, this time, probably in 2 days, she could say, oh, can I come and sleep? And I'll be like, yes, okay. Not because I'm like a really, you know, nice mum. I mean, I like to think I'm okay. But yeah, just because I literally won't be able to remember all this going on. And then my son will come in from work and he'll be like, Mum, don't you remember what happened last time? Do you remember saying to her that she wasn't having another sleepover? I'll be like, no, I don't remember that. Right, I'm going to give up on this one for a minute because I'm not, you know, it's not working for me for a moment. Oh, unless we go for one of these. I don't think it's big enough. That typewriter's not bad, actually. Let's just take that. And, yeah, I think this is going to be too small, unfortunately, but is that one any bigger? No. Oh, isn't it annoying? Yeah, literally, I can't wait till like this evening to be able to watch that thing again, that series again. I love it when you're watching something like that. I mean, I can't say it's like Handmaid's Tale, which, oh my God, I literally couldn't wait to be watching that every day. It was like, oh my goodness, I can't wait to watch that. I'm not feeling like that, but I'm definitely really enjoying it, you know. So, yeah. I mean, it's not like Handmaid's Tale was kind of like sort of compelling, addictive. Oh my goodness, what is going to happen next? It's not like that, you know. You're not kind of on the edge of your seat thinking, oh, what's going to happen next? But it is very enjoyable, you know. The characters are all kind of quite nice, and yeah, it's heading in a bit of a different direction, I have to say, at the moment, to how I was expecting. Love life wise, you know, because that's obviously the predominant theme running through it, but who knows what's going to happen in the end. Okay. Let's take this down. And then, I mean, if nothing else, I've got this cut out then for another one, so. Right, I haven't got a clue how long we've been filming for, so. Oh, see that now, it's very similar to the other typewriter that I rejected because I thought it didn't really show up enough on there. So I might come back to this tag here, because that I felt was too small on there. It wasn't really showing up enough. I mean, they are very busy tags, so, you know, you've got to have something quite bold to actually get it sort of like properly, you know, stand out, I suppose. I'm just wondering whether I could like layer. Do we think that's way too cluttered? Probably is a bit. Probably is, yeah. No. Yeah, I mean, it is just a case of finding the right toppers for them. I mean, that's really pretty on there, to be honest. So we could have that like a little pocket on that one. So should we do that? I think we did have a pocket on the original batch that we made. So just ink this up. I mean, I'm inking the back. It's not really, you know, not really necessary because you can't really notice it that much. But we'll just ink it a bit anyway. And then we'll just ink around here. Okay. Now, really what I should probably do is actually just stitch this on as a pocket. Yeah, I feel like stitching it would be better. But that's okay, we'll just, I can always come back and stitch it, I suppose. So, don't want to have to pull my sewing machine in again. Right, let's just take one of these roses. Yeah, still haven't seen them. Whether or not my daughter's like probably terrified, she's probably like, oh, mum's gonna go mad. Oh my gosh, how gorgeous does that look? Absolutely love it. Now I just wonder, got this like green butterfly, because this is all green in the background. Just wondering whether we could like tie it in and have this green butterfly on there. Really hungry today, which is really annoying. Sometimes you get that, you know, like after Christmas where you've eaten so much over Christmas, your stomach's kind of like stretched. I don't feel like I was that terrible this Christmas that my stomach stretched, to be honest, but yeah, just annoying because, you know, sometimes you just have those hungry days, don't you? And I hate that. It's just like inconvenient, isn't it? You know, keep thinking, oh, I'm hungry, I'm hungry. I don't want to keep thinking about food. Right. I mean, how gorgeous does that look? I'm going to have to stitch this. It's, yeah, really annoying. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to just glue this on straight down the bottom so that I can stitch the sides. But this way, I'm not going to have to do it on, you know, on camera. But I'm going to remember to do it afterwards, if you see what I mean. So I'm going to put it down here. So literally what I'll do is after the video, I will literally just stitch like that around those edges. So here I'm just going to put this rose. Yeah, I want it down there, I think. So again, just going to glue it with the hot glue. I know this is a nonsense, but just because it's going over that cigarette card, you know, I just want to make sure that that's glued nicely. Okay. Oh my gosh, I love this one. Absolutely love it. This is probably my favourite out of all of them. Now, obviously, I just need to be mindful that I am going to be stitching this. So, yeah, don't want to put this too near where it's going to be stitched, if you see what I mean. So, I'll just have that there. Oh my gosh, that's so pretty, isn't it? I absolutely love it. Now, we could just have the bow on that one, but actually, I think this one's worthy of a sari silk bow. What do we think? I think it is, yeah. Let's have a bit of sari silk on this. So, yep, I've got the green. I did buy some more pink. Now, I have to be honest, I was a bit gutted because it was much more lavender, really, than pink. I mean, it's a pretty colour, it is, you know, it is a pretty colour, but I don't know whether it's going to be as useful because it's quite lavender. So yeah, it's annoying. I mean, obviously when you buy sari silk, it does always say, you know, can't guarantee the colour, you know, because of the nature of like the dyeing process, I suppose. So, you know, it could be a true pink, it could be like, you know, very lavender shaded. And this particular one just happened to be very lavender. Or perhaps my last lot that I bought just happened to be very pink. But it was really like a useful shade and I used it like all the time. So when this one arrived, I just thought, that's really annoying because I'm not going to be using that hardly at all. And what's worse, now still don't have any of the lovely pink that I can be using all the time. So yeah, and there's no point just ordering more now because it might still not be pink, if you see what I mean. You know. I mean, maybe I was just really lucky and got like that lovely batch of pink. You know, maybe I'd never find that again. I don't know. In which case, I should have hoarded it. I didn't realise it would be so hard to get any the same again. Annoying. Right, again, just quickly pop some glue in here. And then in here as well. There we go. Oh, I made a bit of a mess of this one. Oh no, there we go. That's fine. Isn't that gorgeous? So yeah, like I said, I'm just going to stitch around just like on the 3 sides, and then that will be a little pocket at the bottom. So oh, I absolutely love that one. Right, I don't know whether we've got time for another one. Let's just see if there's one that's going to like come together really quickly that we could quickly do. If it's going to be a bit of a faff and I can't decide, then I'll leave it. So let's just have a look and see. No, I think that's too small. Oh, that's quite nice on there. Can we have that one? Yeah, let's do that. Okay. I mean, it's nice to be able to get several done, isn't it? Because then, you know, apart from anything else, I'll then have several tags kind of ready to use, which always feels awesome. I love it when I've got like loads of things ready to use. So okay, just ink up the back, and you know, again, not sure how much it shows up, but we'll ink it anyway. Right, this one. What does everybody do on like New Year's Eve? We are going to just have a Chinese takeaway. I don't really have takeaways, you know, particularly. But I do like them. But yeah, so we're going to treat ourselves to a Chinese takeaway. So yeah, my son, my daughter and myself. Oh my goodness, that door, it's so annoying. Would you be able to get that, sweetie, please? Hopefully it's just a parcel and they'll just leave it. So, yeah. Would you be able to get that, please, darling? Thank you, sweetheart. Thank you, sweetie. Thank you. Okay. That one. Yeah, that looks really pretty. I feel something needs to be here. But oh, hold on, that's my gas man. Hang on. Oh, I'm so sorry about that. So that was my you know, engineer to come because my heating has still not been working. So I think I've talked about this before, but yeah, anyway. So it's still not working. He's got to come back with the parts. So he's going to come back on Friday, hopefully. So, yeah, hopefully we will have heating working on Friday. But honestly, it's like one extreme to the other. The house is either like boiling or freezing. And hey, I mean, not that I'm complaining when it's boiling, because obviously, you know, that's fine. But then it will suddenly be like really, really cold. So, yeah, it's just really, you know, not great. Right, I'm going to have it like this, I think. So let's just pop this down here. I can't honestly remember whether this was how I decided to have it when he knocked or not, because obviously I've been downstairs for a while. So it's yeah, been a while, and now I can't remember what my plan was with this one, but let's go for this and just hope that we've made the right choice. Yeah, just so annoying, isn't it? All these things, you know, heating and stuff. But like I say, I mean, it's fine when it's, you know, the house is boiling, other than the fact that I'm probably running up a huge bill. And this has been going on now for weeks, you know, like, because obviously at first we kept thinking that, you know, we had been doing something wrong, sort of thing. So we kept adjusting the clock and the timer and, you know, and trying to get it to work. But of course it wasn't working. And then the engineer came out, and then he just replaced the batteries in the thermostat. So of course, you know, that didn't really make it work either. So yeah, it's now been like ages since it's been working. So to be honest, we've probably now just accumulated a huge, great big bill, which is really annoying, but never mind. Right, let's just take this and yeah. Anyway, he's coming back in a couple of days with the part, because of course he didn't have the part, you know, that he needs to replace, well, that he thinks needs, you know, needs replacing. But that's fine. He's going to come back in 2 days. No, 3 days. 3 days. So just another 3 days of having this malarkey. So, you know, because what happens is, like, you know, we've put the timer on, and then you go to bed, and normally obviously the heating would be off overnight, and that's when the heating decides to come on, because the timer, you know, the unit bit with the clock inside it, that's what he thinks has gone. So hence, you know, we're kind of like then boiling at night, but maybe we've been freezing during the day. So yeah, he's going to replace the you know, the whole unit where the timer is, and hopefully that will sort it out. But yeah, it's just annoying. And then, so we've tried to turn it off like manually, which on the whole does work, but just sometimes it hasn't worked. Or Christmas Eve, I think it was, it then wasn't coming back on. So then we're like, oh my goodness, now we're going to have no heating for Christmas Day. Luckily we did manage to get it working, but so now we're a little bit like, oh, do we dare keep turning it off and on? You know, we better off having it on with it being boiling, because at least it's on. Because obviously if it goes off and then doesn't come back on, then that's it, we've got like no hot water. So yeah, it's kind of one of them tricky things really, but anyway, hopefully it's going to be fixed. So that's all good. All good, you know, that we'll have the house just the right temperature instead of like just the one extreme to the other, you know, freezing or boiling. Okay, right, let's just now, just going to use this kind of colour, Sari Silk, which again, when I purchased this was ivory, and again, you know, it does say obviously that, you know, they can't guarantee how the colour will be due to the dyeing process, but this is not at all similar colour to the ivory that I used to have. It's a nice colour, and I'm sure there's some things that it goes probably better with, you know, but it's not as nice a colour as the other one, or I don't find it as usable as the other one. The other one was more yellowy based. This one's much more sort of pinky based. Oh, that doesn't really go on there, does it? I thought that was going to look really good, but actually it doesn't really look good on there at all. Yeah, so it's unfortunately kind of not quite the right colour, unless the only way that I could get this to perhaps look okay is if I put some ruffle at the bottom. So let's do that. It also will cover up the fact that this text is upside down. So yeah, we'll ruffle a little bit along here, and then we'll put it as a bow, and that way the colours will go top and bottom, and it will sort of pull the whole thing together. So instead of looking like really strange, it's all going to look good. I mean, hasn't Christmas fallen at a weird time this year? I mean, obviously, you know, you're going to be watching this in January, so it will seem like irrelevant really, but yeah, I was just kind of thinking, because, you know, my son's been back at work, and then he's going to obviously have New Year's Day off, And like I say, we're going to like have the Chinese on New Year's Eve, and then he'll be off. And then he'll be back to work on the Friday, which just seems really weird. Yeah, it's really strange. You know, it's like having just that one day off in the middle of the week. It's just like a weird timing, isn't it? Oh, this is a really bulbous bow now, because this sari silk's really wide. Should have really torn it down in half, but I thought then it might look a bit too spindly and, you know, not really very you know, significant, so I wanted to make it look more of it. But yeah, now I'm like, it's a bit too big really, but let's just take it down a bit. Okay, that will do, that will do. That and that one. Oh my goodness. Well, it's a bit rubbish, to be honest. I've not made a very good job of that bow. I'm gonna have to do it again. It's annoying me. I can't just leave it like that. So yeah, we'll tear this in half. I've decided probably better to be less rather than really bulbous like this, because it's just going to be like too bulky. So just tear it. I'm going to try and do like a third. So I'll keep that bit to do like as tie rounds for, you know, like if you have tie up pieces, and then I'll use this bit for tying the bow. So hopefully it'll be way better. Way better. Okay. Oops. Okay. There we go. Right, I'll just quickly do the bow like that. One and this one. There we go. Got there in the end. Took a while getting there, but yeah, I got there in the end. I should have just torn it down in half in the first place. Oops, I'm just going to put a little bit of glue in there, because that also was coming a bit undone. There we go. Much better. Right, there we go. So yeah, let's just take that down. Right, there we go. Looking good. Right, so we have completed 5, which isn't too bad, because I did have to make the whole thing, you know, from scratch. So, you know, although I'd done that before the video. But yeah, so we've got 5 there made. Obviously, we've done a little bit of a twist. Rather than the playing cards, we used the cigarette cards. But I like how they turned out, actually. I think they're nice. My favourite one, I think, definitely is this one. I absolutely love it. Probably closely followed by this one, actually. I really like this one now. It's really pretty. And then closely followed by this one. So that's really lovely. And then I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 left to do. So yeah, we've done 5 and we've got 5 left to do. So not too bad. So let me know what you think. Let me know which one is your favourite out of these, or the same favourites as mine. And I will see you guys in the next video. So yep, really appreciate a big thumbs up for this video, and if you haven't subscribed to my channel, I would really appreciate your subscribing. Thanks so much then. Bye.